Welcome friends, welcome back to MK Zoology. As I told you in the previous video, the organization of coelom. If you are interested, then please go and watch my previous video. And in this video tutorial, I will be talking about metamerism. So let's come to the topic. What is metamerism? Metamerism comes from a Greek word that is meta, which means after, and mer, which means part. The animal body have parts of segments which are metamer. These are segments or metamers. Okay, let's come to the definitions. So first, metamerism is seen in annelids. Okay. The next one, general segmentation of bilateral animals involves longitudinal division of the body into linear series of similar segments. It means if this is the body of the animal and bilateral means both the half are equal. It divides longitudinal. This is longitudinal division and these are the segments. Series of segments present. This is longitudinal division and in the middle the gut is present. Okay. Then next, each segment contains appendages, muscles, nerves, blood vessels, excretory organs and a pair of coelomic segments. Okay. Each segment means these are all segments and each segment bears muscles, nerves, blood vessels, excretory organs like this. Excretory organs and a pair of coelomic cells means this is a segment and a pair of, this is one, this is two. A pair of coelomic cells are present. Then the characteristics of metamerism. Let's see this. It confined to the intermediate segments except anterior, that is head, and posterior tarsal. Means the metameric segments are present in the trunk region. In the trunk region, there will be the tail region. It is not present in the head region. Okay, this is only present in the tail region. This is suppose head and this is your trunk and this is your tail. The metameric segments are present in the trunk region. Okay, similar segments are present which are called metamers, which are present in the trunk region. Okay, let's come to the next. Each metamer represents mirror image of the other. Each metamer represents the mirror image. Obviously, the metamerism segments show the organs which are similar in the other metamers also. And the third one, that is they are interdependent. The metameric segments are dependent on each other because the blood, if the excretory products pass through this, then it is obviously passed through the next segment also. Then next, the integrated into single functional unit. All the functions which are carried out in the body is integrated into a single functional unit. Means suppose the digestive system, the digestion takes place in all the segments. Okay, because the digestive system is present throughout the body. The gut is present throughout the body. This is the gut is present throughout the body. And the nephridia is present also throughout the body. These are working as a single functional unit. Then the next point, work in coordination. All the systems are working in coordination. Means if the blood flows through this, the blood vessels, ventral blood vessel, dorsal blood vessel, that means it flows through every segments. Okay, let's come to the diagram. This is ectoderm, as I told you in the coelom. This is ectoderm and then next is mesoderm. These are both the mesodermal lining and the coelom is present in between the mesodermal lining, and this is endoderm. Okay, and next this is your gut. Okay, this is the animal body and this is the enlarged view. Just see here, this is your ectoderm. Okay, this is your ectoderm, this is your mesoderm, this is your coelom, this is mesoderm, this is your endoderm, and this is your gut. Okay, and the this is your dorsal blood vessel and this is your ventral blood vessel which is present in the coelomic cavity. and the nephridia is also present in the coelomic cavity. Okay, these are the segments. Okay, in annelidum, constant number of segments present. Okay, this is a septum. The septum is present in ectoderm and in the mesoderm layer. Okay, this is the animal. The septum is present in the ectoderm. This is the ectoderm and the mesoderm layer. And this is a gut. Septum is present so that the segments are formed. Okay, the septum is the partition wall between the metameres. This is a septum and this is an nephridia. This is the intestine or gut. Okay, this is all about your meaning and characteristics. Let's come to the types of metamerism. First is true metamerism. Here the body segments are formed by the fragmentation of mesoderm. The body segments are formed, these are the segments, these are formed by the fragmentation of mesoderm. This is mesodermal lining. In between the mesodermal lining, the coelom is present, and here the body segments are also present. So the body segments are formed by the fragmentation of mesoderm. Okay, this is the portion of mesoderm where mesodermal cells are present. But where happened here? The mesoderm splitted and the coelom develops there. Okay, so true metamerism seen in which animals? It is seen in annelids, arthropods and chordates. Okay, then next one is homonymous metamerism. In homonymous metamerism, all the segments are alike, means all the segments are looks similar, and all the body segments, blood vessels, nervous system and excretory organs are present. So here the example is annelid. In annelids, in annelidum body, the segments are similar, and in all the segments, every organs are present. Then next one is here heteronymous metamerism. In heteronymous metamerism, all the segments are not similar. Okay, all the segments are not similar, and here the example is arthropoda. In arthropods, the body segments are not similar. So next, external metamerism. Here the example is arthropoda. In arthropoda, the body segments are present only externally. There are no internal segments, means only in the ectoderm layer the segments are present. In the mesoderm layer, there are no partitions or no segments. And the fifth one, that is internal metamerism. In internal metamerism, the example is vertebrates. But why vertebrates? Because in vertebrates, the nervous system is present throughout the body. Okay, the nervous system is present throughout the body, and the vertebrae and ribs are also present. So that is why vertebrates are the examples of internal metamerism. Okay, the next one is external and internal, and here the example is annelids. Why annelids? In annelids, both internal and external metamerism shows. But why? The external metamerism. First, the external metamerism is shown by the skin. Like what? The body of annelidum shows the constrictions in the skin. That is the external metamerism. And internal metamerism, there are septum present in the mesoderm layer. It is the partition wall, so that is in the internal, and in external the body constrictions are present. So here the example is annelids. Then the seventh point, that is complete metamerism, means the metamerism shows in all the organs. all the organs shows metabolism like in annelids. In annelids, all the organs shows metabolism. Means in metabolic segments, all the organs are present. And the 8th point is incomplete metabolism, which means the metabolism is not shown in all the organs. Not seen in all organs. The example is arthropoda. In arthropoda, only some organs shows metabolism. In some metameres, not all the organs are present. Suppose the reproductive organs is present in this metamere and in the rest metamere, the reproductive organ is not present. That's why it is under incomplete metabolism. Then the next is pseudometabolism. In pseudometabolism, number of segments vary in different individuals and the number of segments are present by the constriction of the ectoderm only. The segments are not formed by the constriction of mesoderm. It is present only in the externally in the ectoderm, and the number of segments are added throughout their life, and it is added only to their anterior end. But in true metabolism, the metameres are added to the posterior end. But in pseudometabolism, it is added in the anterior end, and there is no coordination between the metameres. The example of pseudometabolism is tapeworm, Platyhelminthes. Okay, this is all about your types of metabolism. So let's come to the theories of metabolism or origin of metabolism. In the origin of metabolism, there are 4 theories. First one is pseudo-metabolism theory. Second one is cyclomerism theory. Third one is Kohn or fission theory. And the fourth one is locomotion theory. Let's come to the first one, that is pseudo-metabolism theory, which was proposed by Hyman and Goodrich in 1951. So, according to Hyman and Goodrich, the segmented animals are formed from their ancestor acoelomate unsegmented animal. New segments are formed at the anterior part and there is no coordination between the segment. Okay, and the example of pseudometabolism is tapeworm of Platyhelminthes. Okay, then next, second one is cyclomerism theory proposed by Sedgwick in 1884. According to Sedgwick, cyclomerism theory is similar like the Androcilus theory of evolution of coelom. In the Androcilus theory, is you remember that? No, please go and watch my previous video. In the Androcilus theory, coelom formed by the archenteron pouches. Suppose this is archenteron pouches. Okay, and the coelom formed from this. Okay, like this. The cyclomerism theory is also like this. Let's see here. Coelom originated from the central digestive cavity and initial division of 2 pouches resulted in 3 pairs of coelomic cavities, namely protocele, mesocele and metacele. In ancestral coelomates, lost protocele and mesocele led to unsegmented coelomates like mollusks, and the subdivision of metacele produced segments leading to the development of annelids. Okay, understood. So this is all about your cyclomerism theory. The next one is your Kohn or fission theory. This theory was proposed by Fourier in 1882. According to Fourier, in some non-segmented ancestor, the repeated transfer division or the asexual reproduction producing a chain of sub-individuals like in annelids and platyhelminthes, and later these sub-individuals integrated morphologically and physiologically into one complete individual. This is all about your Kohn or fission theory. Fission means the transfer division. Okay, let's come to the fourth theory, that is locomotion theory, proposed by R.B. Clarke in 1964. In this theory, Clarke said that the peristaltic movement of annelids developed the segmentation in their body. Peristaltic movement means what? The shortening and lengthening of the muscles. So according to locomotion theory, the annelids develop segmentation for locomotion and for burrowing in the sand. Let's come to the significance of metamerism. Okay. Significance of metamerism. What is the significance? Metamerism helps in the locomotion and burrowing. And the second one, it helps in division of labor. It helps in division of labor. This is all about your metamerism. I hope you clear with the content, and if you like this video, then hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.